Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of a Fujoshi commentary, more specifically, Yaoi News. It is going to be the fourth installment of this beautiful saga. It's been a while since I've made a Yaoi News video, so I thought why not? There's some new announcements that I'm sure people really haven't been caught up on, and I wanted to kind of express them here, at least the ones I feel like people should be excited for. And our first one is going to start off with one of our favorite two religious figures coming together for summer vacation in anime, and that is Buddha and Jesus from Saint Young Man. Now, as you know, in the last couple of Yaoi News updates, I mentioned that Saint Young Man was getting a live-action adaptation, and they've just announced the two main casts for Buddha and Jesus. And Jesus, surprisingly enough, is going to be played by Kenichi Matsumaya. You may know him from the greatest character of all anime time in the early 2000s, El Lolit from Death Note. He is going to be playing as Jesus, and I can say I can totally see it. And in addition, Shota Sonatani is going to be playing Buddha. You probably know him more as the main character of Parasite in the live-action adaptation. You didn't know there was a Parasite live-action adaptation. There's a chance. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on Crunchyroll soon, or at least out for a DVD release. I remember hearing something like that about it. But that is what we have so far, and any new updates we get, I promise to let you know. There's still no release date on when this movie will be made, but hopefully we got a release date soon. I'm super excited. Our next bit of news is going to be from the ALA, or also known as the American Library Association. Now, in a recent poll or list that has been made out by the Young Adult Libraries Association, or YALZA, they basically have come out and saying that the infamous Gengoro Tagame, one of his more very softer, very warm, cutesy, friendly manga that you probably have seen. It's been making its rounds in the graphic novel community as of late, has made it to the top 10 best graphic novels of 2018. His great novel, My Brother's Husband, up there with titles like Erased and Your Name. Like, that's pretty big in my opinion. Like, a yaoi, or more specifically a bara-esque manga, has made it onto the top 10 graphic novels. And I think it's because it's way different than what he's usually been doing. He's very well known for his very hardcore, burly, bara fetish manga, like borderline torture porn. But in this instance, My Brother's Husband is a very slice of life, very sweet, very affectionate manga, and he's already gotten a good amount of notoriety in the community, so that saying, oh, you finally made something that we can actually show to mainstream audiences, it's no shock to me that his story blew up and that it is making its rounds. It's a very sweet story. I've read parts of it myself, and I'm so happy for the great Gengoro Tagame and his work receiving that high of an honor. Now, in our next bit of news, which also shouldn't be that surprising news, which I am kind of surprised that it took this long to get done, the creator of Utena Revolutionary Girl, Chiho Saito, is making her first BL manga. And apparently it says, if you read from the article, now Saito has basically just finished her manga, which is called Torike Baya, and it's a historical manga focused on the gender non-conforming siblings that switch identities. And despite her manga pedigree, like with all of her very known works as being non-conforming to sexuality, fluctuating gender, this is the first time she's wrote and finished a full BL manga. Like, it's pretty exciting, and I think based on seeing her work with Utena and a few other titles that she's done, I have no doubts that this story is going to be, at the very least, very intriguing. The fact that they're going to be switching gender roles and that they could possibly be some incest going on, oh, I wait. Now, it's being debuted in the B-Boy Gold Publisher Collection, which just came out on February 9th. Now, in addition to that, basically the stories are going to be about different royalty pairings in Japan and Europe and the Middle East and ancient Rome and Mongolia. So it's going to be just a big clusterfuck of royalty hot steaming love. It looks like it's really gonna be a good manga in my opinion. Now, she is still working on Utena Revolutionary Girl like merch and the manga, and apparently she's launching a brand new manga for the Monthly Flowers magazine this April, so she hasn't stopped there, but she wanted to do a side project with Boys Love. And Miss Saito, we thank you. Now the last two stories aren't really yaoi related, but they do appeal to a close mangaka who has created quite a very familiar title that, as you can see, has spread across through my channel, and that is the Inuyasha author known as Rumiko Takahashi. She recently was seen and spotted at a cafe, a maid cafe in Japan, with her and the cast of Ranma 1/2. Now, for those who don't know, Ranma 1/2 was one of the first titles that she had produced and hit mainstream audiences in both the US, around the world, as well as Japan. It is very beloved, very well known. Viz Media recently has revamped and revived it and made it into this huge box collection. I think that was about 2 years ago, but apparently they took a huge photo where her and the cast were just chilling, hanging out at this maid cafe. It was a very great thing. The voice actresses and actors were there. Basically, the voice actress for Akane Tendo, Ranma, and Shampoo and Azusa, I believe, were there, and they all were there to try out all the themed foods. There were good foods that they posted on Twitter about, and my, looking at some of these, they are quite great. And they posed pictures next to the themed cafe. It's really great. They have a variety of different dishes that they can try at this place, so if you're in Japan and you want to hang out over there, this is added with a VR experience. So you get to use your VR headset and you get to be serviced by the select shampoo or whoever is doing this at this cafe. The cafe was running for a while last year in Shinshibashi, Osaka. It was also running in Nagoya, and now it's running in Tokyo, specifically in Ikebukuro. And whew, if you're in Ikebukuro, Tokyo, and you want to go by there and Ranma is your favorite, I say do it, because it looks really good from what I'm seeing on the voice actor's Twitter and some of the photos. It looks like it's a good cafe. Also, in addition, Rumiko Takahashi has unveiled a one-shot horror manga that she has released, and it's called Empty Apartment, or otherwise known as Nanamonai Heya. And it's basically about a woman or somebody who's moved into this apartment to turn over a new leaf, and they find out that moving next door to an apartment with basically a history of suicide and creepy findings. I can't wait to see it. I really hope that it turns out to be really good. Like, the last time I read anything from Rumiko Takahashi and it being related to anything horror was the One Mermaid manga that she made, and it was pretty good in my opinion. I like it. I really hope this one's good. But yeah, it's supposed to be coming out actually tomorrow from the time I'm filming this. So if February 24th is when this is set to come out on the issue. And so guys, with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. I know I've been gone for a while, but I'm ready to get back up. I know I say this every time I make a video after being gone for a long time, but this time I'm really serious. I have all sorts of cool videos I want to show you guys I've been working and scripting on. If you want to see behind the scenes stuff with that, you can go to my Patreon and pledge. Speaking of Patreon, I would love to give a thank you and a personal shout out to my first patron who has pledged, and that is Ninja2000, and he is my first Patreon who has pledged, and I'm so grateful to anybody who pledges. Even if it's just $1, it helps the channel out really well, and it helps me to make more content and still pay the bills. If you don't want to pledge and have the risk of maybe receiving nothing, please feel free to check out my Teespring store and my Redbubble store. I have a lot of my art stuff on there, as well as some of my logo-based content with my YouTube channel. And if you have any suggestions on what I should do for merch and things like that, feel free to let me know in the comments or on my various social media platforms that you can follow and whatnot. And because I know YouTube is having big sub box and subscription problems, please make sure to turn on that bell to get notifications, or you could just follow me on my Twitter, my Instagram, or my Facebook page. I always update when I'm making a new video and progress and things like that there. So without further ado guys, peace, love, and stay groovin', humans.